You know, I really appreciate how loyal Optimus is to this vehicle. Let's talk about that, right? You got Megatron just throwing himself around like his name's Shay, trying to catch something. And then you got Optimus, who is loyal. And I'm telling you guys, this is how we know he's not the bad guy. Because unlike Megatron, he's not a freaking slut. Welcome back to Hero Review Episode 3. Today we are looking at the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime. Shout out to Kardusma for suggesting Optimus, and if there's a hero you want me to review, leave them down in the comments below. How good of a hero is Optimus? Let's break him down and find out.
You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
Being mentored by Sentinel Prime, Optimus eventually became the leader of the Cybertronian scientific division on his planet of Cybertron. Everything seemed to be going great, right? The basketball team was winning. I doubt Cybertron had a basketball team. Until his half-brother Megatron rose up against him, and the two enraged in an all-out war for the planet. Both fighting over a strong power called the Allspark. Optimus eventually just chucked the cube. He just launched this thing into space so that the Decepticons and Megatron couldn't really get their hands on it.
Oh, you were the box! What was in the box?
No, it's not a box. I said it's a cube. Stupid reference. Eventually going down to Earth to protect the Allspark, Optimus and his boys will continue fighting the good fight and protecting the cube and the entire galaxy, I guess, from Megatron and his squad. Honestly, I'm a little indifferent on this origin story, and I have to preface by saying that I'm just going off of the movies. I'm sure there's a lot of comics and other shows and stuff like that and animated movies that explain it all, so I'm sure that there's some details I'm missing. And honestly, the whole kind of shows itself in the film franchise. What I mean by that is I feel like we're missing a lot of important details when it comes to Optimus. When we meet him in the first film, he's here to protect the cube, and he's the good guy. I wish there would just have been some more explanation to why Optimus is the good guy and why he believes what he believes. There's nothing really wrong with this origin, it's just nothing to really get excited about. As far as inciting actions go for a hero, I doubt anyone's looking to this and just pointing to it for the golden standard. Okay, so as I'm going through this section, just know that I think Optimus is an absolutely iconic character. Everyone knows him, even people who don't really watch movies or anything like that. He's absolutely iconic, and even I won't disagree with that. I'm not going to try to persuade you otherwise. However, I think he's kind of a Mary Sue. As far as interesting characters go, like real dynamic characters, I don't think Optimus is one that ranks that high. In his defense, though, he's not the main character. The arc of growth isn't going to be as big for him as it's going to be for my boy Sam Witwicky. From the point we meet him all the way through the franchise, I don't see a whole lot of growth or personality in Optimus. He's just the good guy, and he's here to protect Earth, and that's kind of all there really is to it. But don't fear, Optimus fans. Don't fear, you guys. Chill. I got you. There's a lot of good to talk about here also. After all, there are a lot of reasons why Optimus is so iconic. One of the things I actually like about him is that he is a phenomenal leader. The way he always knows what to do for the Autobots and how to deal with the Decepticons, it's just awesome. He's so committed to the cause, and it feels like every mission he goes into with this sacrifice mentality. He knows that he knows he's the most badass of all the Autobots, but he goes in with this attitude that makes it seem like he's willing to die for anyone else on the mission. These heroic and selfless actions make Optimus seem as such a beacon of hope and just good in the universe. In a world where the Decepticons seem to always get bigger and scarier, as long as Optimus is around, we know there's always a chance for good to win, and we have hope and good will prevail.
You'll lose today, Optimus. Let me show you my new Decepticon, Big Desert Sucking Man. Your Sucking Man, Megatron, is quite formidable. But as long as hope is alive and Linkin Park is playing, good will prevail.
10 seconds later.
You might have killed my Sucking Man, but wait until you see my new Decepticon, Big Metal Dino Man. Your Metal Dino Man is no match for me and my Autobots. I'm so heroic, he's already defeated. That doesn't even make any... Ah, shit.
10 seconds later.
All right. This one's good. Meet my newest new Decepticon, Metal Nick Cage. Your metal... Wait. Let me tell you about him. He has this death beam so strong, it makes the Death Star look like a laser pointer. He has a self-destruct button that blows up the entire universe, and he's actually a Cybertron god. Guess again, Megatron.
Honestly, Megatron, he killed me like right away. He's really good.
Dude, seriously, why you gotta ruin all the fun?
Optimus Prime has some really cool scenes. Since he has such a strong sense of morality, and he's also just badass, we get a pretty solid mix of both. We get a lot of scenes about talking about hope and the forces of good, and it can be pretty inspiring in this universe, but like I said, the dude is just badass, and it shows. Every time there's a new Decepticon, I know our boy Optimus can take him down, even when the odds are like 7-1. One thing I'll give these movies credit for is that they do a good job of showing how powerful characters are, like Megatron and Optimus. They're not the biggest like Transformers, but we see that it's not always about that. It's about fighting style and intellect and how you incorporate the two. And Optimus and Megatron, we see this really well. We see how good and smart they really are. When we watch these two fight, it really does feel like we're watching two incredibly powerful beings going up against each other. And it's always really cool to see. That being said, I have to say Optimus's best scene is that scene in the forest. I mean, guys, come on. I like the scene because it shows how badass Optimus is, but also how persistent and brave he is. The odds are against him from the start, and that doesn't even matter. He's ready for the fight regardless. While the odds are stacked against him, he does really well, and always conveys this courageous attitude. It's a really cool scene, and even if you don't like the movie, you can't deny that this scene isn't entertaining.
Hold on to the cube.
So what Optimus is trying to do throughout these movies is save the Earth and anyone else threatened by the Decepticons. Saving the Earth by itself is a very heroic motive, but I actually really like the selflessness of it. Losing his planet in the past, it would have been easy for Optimus to be like, nah, screw everyone, I'm gonna go live my life, I'm gonna go to Tahiti, right, and just drink margaritas. But no, he keeps doing it. He keeps fighting the fight regardless, even though his planet and his species are kind of screwed. The fact that he fights for a people who most of the time are like going against him, it's a really admirable quality, and it helps Optimus stand out as a truly heroic figure. He never falters in his point of view, and while that might make him seem a little less interesting, it reinforces the confidence he has in his mission. The selfless act of doing good for the sake of stopping evil might seem kind of generic, and it kind of is, but it makes it really easy to see Optimus as a really just heroic guy or robot. There's no gray area, and while that might not be a good thing, his commitment to good has to be acknowledged and respected. Optimus Prime, or at least the film version of him, is lacking an origin story that feels unique and creative. While he seems a little too static as a character, his strong sense of leadership and selflessness make him a lot more likable. He has some really cool scenes, and while his heroic deeds might not be that interesting, they're incredibly heroic nonetheless. I'm gonna give Optimus Prime a 7.
Like us, there's more to them than meets the eye.
Thank you all so much for watching, and please let me know what you think of Optimus Prime in the comments. If you want more hero reviews, like the video so I know what you people like. As always, comment below what hero I should review next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.